All right, folks, my next guest has posed a question. Did the world's hottest stocks change on Friday? Did anything happen to make them change? And then she implores investors to have the courage to not change. Let's bring in Greentech Research investment analyst, portfolio manager, Hilary Kramer. Hilary, you've had the sizzling hand, and now you're taking a strong hand to these investors. Hang in there, have the courage not to change. What does that mean?
It's about having conviction, right? We're driven, we always talk about fear and greed, but in a market where you're used to every single week, new highs, new records being met. I mean, look, it's about courage. On a Friday like we had, the market needed to take a breath.
Right.
Everyone needs to take a breath, and the market's like a pure person. 4% down, no big deal. It's a buying opportunity.
All right, speaking of change, S&P added Marvell and Flex. Flex was a wild one. No one thought Flex. I was lucky enough to have subscribers in both of them, but I thought what was more compelling is Poole and Campbell's they kicked to the curb. And this just speaks to the world, you know, there's a lot of old school Wall Streeters out there and they have a barbell approach and this kind of thing. The world is Marvell and Flex right now. It's not Campbell's soup, is it?
No.
Although you like Campbell's soup a little bit.
Okay,
a little bit.
A 7% dividend yield, and people are still going to have Campbell's. And they have some great brands with Rouse and that are higher end. I love marinara
I hear you trying to
sauce.
convince yourself.
Okay.
That's a good one.
No,
That's
it's
a good
true.
one.
And Pool, 3% dividend yield, and a lot of people have swimming pools and need that equipment. But they're not going to be $1 trillion, $2 trillion companies. Marvell and Flex are very important. Now, Flex, I know why you had doubts about that, even though you were still in it, because it's an OEM. It's really hardware,
right.
Even though they're in the AI space, but they're also in medical technology.
Well, they're the non-sexy part of it,
Exactly.
but even that's getting a bit these days. Let's talk about buying and dip, though, because you've got some names that you've given the audience for at least the last couple of years, maybe longer. And these are the names that the dip comes. These should be at the top of your list.
Yes, Western Digital and SanDisk, the need for memory. Western Digital and SanDisk work together. One is more hardware and one's more software oriented. Micron's very important. Think of it as the fuel, if you want to think of NVIDIA as the engine of the car.
Right.
Texas Instruments, there's still a need for semiconductors. NVIDIA can't make them all. These are great companies to still own. And when the market goes down, it's an opportunity to buy in.
What about these, because I saw your note, and we're going to bring up the chart of Broadcom here in a moment, these sort of custom chips. Broadcom was riding high. It was unstoppable. It was an unsung, stock that was even trading better than some Mag 7 names. They reported, and in that report, it just, some of their AI stuff didn't sell as much as they did. They didn't offer the guidance that Wall Street thought they would offer. And some are wondering maybe the part of the commodity, this chip place that they're in is more commoditized and therefore not a lot of pricing power.
And that very well could be the situation. It's commoditization, but it's also the expectations are so high. All of these companies have to beat and raise, in triple digits. Broadcom is a great company, a really good one to own. What we have to watch for, if we think the market, when we're looking for that big downturn, when we're looking for that correction, it's when excellent news happens and the stock goes down. In the case of Broadcom, it was more disappointment.
Okay, so we just had Alex on before you, and he's saying he's looking at software. He likes the way it's acting. So do you. And these are some of these names. They're trying to get some traction here. Salesforce was actually down a little bit on its earnings, but didn't rally, with some of the other software names.
Why?
Talk to us about it.
Okay. We have to start bottom up. Microsoft has the operating system. What we're seeing is that these agents, AI agents, they come up with everything, and we all think that Salesforce, Workday are going to be replaced by artificial intelligence. But on the contrary, these agents still have to go deep into the well and utilize these softwares.
What about the model, the seat-based model, though? No one's saying that they'll go the way of the dodo bird, but what you're saying is that they won't have the pricing power, right? They were all about pricing power. Software is going to eat the world. Now AI is eating everything and software is in the way. Will they have the pricing power, though, to be able to command those high stock prices that they once did in the past?
There will still be pricing power because there's so many more agents than there are companies and people. So there will be pricing power there. The stocks have already traded down with that expectation. expectation,
Okay.
no, about pricing power not being as strong.
I want to ask you a quick question before I let you go. So Trump says he's considering government stake in the some of these top AI companies. I like what he's doing with the taxpayer dollar. I think we have to. I think China, there was a great report out from the OECD last week, how much China subsidizes those companies. It's not a fair playing field. Anyone who thinks that it's messed up to have our government in this isn't paying attention. China's not playing by our rules.
No, and our rules require that if we want to be competitive and stay competitive, it makes a lot of sense what happened, for example, with Intel, where the White House, our federal government stepped in and made an investment. Now, it could be, yes, that this doesn't happen, that there aren't investments in AI, and that's what capital is for, that's what shareholders, I hope this happens.
We'll see. I hope it happens for the right companies because we have to win this battle. Thanks a lot, Hilary, appreciate it.